time at the controls, so I apologize if I mess up in advance. So we'll see how it goes. Welcome to Barnstorming, Pennsylvania, Barnstorming PA. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Taylor Lightman, joined by some absolutely fabulous co-hosts. Terrain Myrix, welcome
Hello.
back.
Thank you for having me back.
Terrain, you're co-host of Alcoholitics.
Yes.
So it's a. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that and how folks can tune in?
Last time I was here, if anyone watched the last time I was here, I plugged it 474 times. But I will say it is a wonderfully fun weekly podcast for the most part, where we have some drinks and talk about politics and current issues, and sometimes reality television shows. It's a good time, so check that out then.
And I hear you're actually a Wordle world champ. Is that correct?
I whoever put this on, I saw this and I thought to myself,
Jordy put it on.
Yep, that.
But I have been following your Twitter. Twitter post of your.
If you follow, you know that I have been soundly defeated.
You get it pretty quick. Yeah, but you usually get it pretty quick. This
is the first. I think it was Monday. Was the first day since playing Wordle that I got it wrong. I didn't get it in the 6 tries. And that's because Wordle decided that the word was going to be a word that ended with the same 4 letters and can start with almost any letter in the alphabet you want. So I got it wrong.
What was it? What was it?
The word was found. I think I guessed wound, pound,
everything, right? Like I was like, what the fuck? And then whenever it came up, I was like, what? I was so mad.
I was on at that point a 60-some streak, but it says the 60-some streak, or I think it was around 60. I actually had to have my laptop sent away, so it couldn't keep that streak going, and I was playing on my phone, and then I went back to my laptop. So it's really like 3 months of this that I've been perfect, and after getting that wrong, I have not played again.
Wow.
Yeah, so he put this on the outline to hurt my feelings, and I'd like to say he's not here right now. Congratulations, it worked. I'm devastated.
Oh my gosh. Well, shame on you, Jordy Ross Comas.
Shame
what is going on
you.
Here we also have one of our fabulous co-hosts, Jenna Henry. Welcome to the show, Jenna.
Hello everybody. Good to be back.
Yeah, and Jenna lives in Center County. I don't know quite how to introduce you now, but do you want to say a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I live in State College, Pennsylvania. Been here a few times. Currently the deputy director of Better PA, but am announcing first thing tomorrow morning that I'm actually leaving Better PA.
So this is breaking news on the pod.
This is breaking news, exclusive.
This is exclusive content for Barnstorming, Pennsylvania.
It is. Heard it here first. I'm announcing it tomorrow morning. I accepted the position of organizing director for the Penn Franchise Project, which those familiar with Pennsylvania politics may know who Lee Owens is. He was the legislative director for SEIU Healthcare for a few years. What you may not know is Lee is actually formerly incarcerated and kind of came to organizing accidentally and was able to use it as a way to rebuild his life. I have a much similar story. I'm also formerly incarcerated. I was a chef until I accidentally started working in politics when I volunteered on a campaign. So what we're going to do is train other people who are formerly incarcerated to be organizers so that maybe they can get the job skills that took us years to build, in sharing the knowledge, so that we can get more people who are directly impacted involved in this work. So very excited about that.
I think you're muted, my man.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, is it just me? It's like, did I?
Yes,
did I
you.
break it?
You're muted. No, yeah, I saw him do it, and I'm like, okay, this is a new. I didn't know that they did like mime storming as well. I didn't know that was one of the podcasts that they were going to get down with. It's a movie. Movie. 2 words. First word. I don't know.
I have no idea.
The fun part, like the thing that's wild is I am 100% trying to read his lips and failing miserably.
I can't read lips at all.
He said the word "I'm" in there. Can we talk? We still cannot hear you. Just to kind of try to.
I hope it's a shot you're taking.
I do like that. Whatever, man. Whatever. Couldn't get it done. Lemon before I'm gonna try. Should we ad lib until he's able to? Until we're.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Oh,
can you hear me?
There we go.
There
Okay, great. I just needed to collect myself. Okay,
Oh man,
figured it out. Is this all right? I'm just going straight laptop. Is that?
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Okay. All right, great. All right, beautiful. And my dogs too.
I was gonna say, who has a dog and what kind of dog is it?
Welsh Corgi.
Oh, that's adorable.
I was gonna ask you, Jenna, what campaign was it that was the initial?
So fun story, actually. I was convicted of a felony for selling an eighth of pot. And I ultimately ended up in jail for probation violations. But so the district attorney here, whenever it was kind of like, I was like one of many people who were like seriously screwed over by her because she just like had a fetish for dishing out felonies and ruining lives. And so whenever somebody was going to run against her, I volunteered on their campaign.
No kidding.
Yep. And then, and then I just kept getting calls like, hey, do you want to work on this campaign or that campaign? Like, because there's not enough people to do this work, and there's not enough people who are like really good at it either. At running campaigns. So, they just kind of pulled me in more and more, and were like, you're really good at this, and you should keep doing it. And so here I am. This is still doing it.
And we're glad you're here. Just joining us now, Jess Britton. And I don't know how to introduce you either. As new position. Is that public?
It's not. But it's okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't care.
So, welcome, Jess Britton.
We're just gonna do it. Yeah. It's not.
Barnstorming is about to get another scoop. Hang on.
It's not public. No, for reals. Barnstorming is getting a scoop. It's kind of public. It's like a quarter public, but it's coming real public in the next couple days. Organizing director for Action Together NEPA is how you can introduce me, Taylor. And here I am.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Jess.
Awesome.
It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you. Sorry I'm late. I hope I didn't miss anything. It sounds like maybe we were still doing introductions, so maybe I didn't miss too much. But
no, you have perfect timing, in fact.
Oh, thanks. I'm representing.
Jordy,
realize this, but I'm representing Bloomsburg University. So
go
ahead. Is that a Dave McCormick shirt?
What?
I said, is that a Dave McCormick shirt?
It is not a Dave McCormick shirt. It is a Bloomsburg University.
Oh, okay.
It's a Brian Sims shirt.
And here.
Bloomsburg's been in the press a lot because of.
In the comments, Barista, go Huskies. Terrain clearly got the group chat in on the comments.
It's
Love
Husky time. It's Husky time. We're all in.
Please.
Is that what is it's Husky time? Is that a That's the
You just
cheer.
made it up, but yeah, that's what's happening.
Okay. I like it. It's husky time.
It's two of us, and then one of each of you. So there's like plurality of huskies here. So we're in charge now, Taylor. Sorry.
Got it. Where I went to school in Sweden, the motto was "Ready for both," which I always thought was ambiguous and not at all like
Ready for both of what?
Yeah, I know. It's like
Just both.
Well, that's
Look,
inspiring.
you might pass, you might fail. You got to be ready for both. Okay.
I'm ready for both. Yeah.
Sometimes ready for both is great, and sometimes it is gonna super not be okay.
Yeah. No, I think it's good to definitely be ready for one, though.
I have to move shit. Okay.
And we also actually have a new, a returning, co-host, host. You know him, you love him, Jordy Comas. We're still doing intros.
You're still doing intros.
We're still doing intros.
I left for a few minutes, and it's like no time has passed.
Jordy,
of us were late.
what was the motto of the Catholic Opus Dei school you went to in Spain? Do you know that?
I mean, I do know that I went to a Catholic Opus Dei school. What was the motto?
Yeah. What was the motto?
No
Ready
beating
for
is
neither.
no beating is severe enough.
Ready for neither.
I don't remember. Do you know it?
I don't know yours, but I was saying that Loons University's was ready for both. Or it's
Ready for both?
I gotta get that stitched to a sweater.
That's so. You could go so many directions.
Yeah, it's so like I don't know.
Great.
God is right behind us, a little too close. I don't know what Opus Dei's.
That's not
all
good.
right. On that note, yeah. Well, apparently Bloomsburg's unofficial one is it's husky time.
We just started that.
There we go.
Or that just started here. So welcome to Barnstorming.
You at BU.
You and
we're going to start off with a little housekeeping. Then we're going to do headlines. Small game about political advertisements in Pennsylvania. Very exciting. And I just realized that I'm just using my computer and not my mic, so it doesn't matter that I did that. And then we're going to do a deep dive on decarbonizing democracy in Ukraine. Thank God that Jordy has arrived, because I know I've read all of those things. And but we never know. So
we're gonna wing it a little.
We're gonna wing it just a little bit. But a very important topic. So really quickly, housekeeping. Barnstorming PA has, let me pull this up. We have a new store. We're selling merch. We're slinging coffee mugs. Very exciting. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
So we've got this cannabis hex sign mug right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Very exciting. We've got this Marx and Engels Communism Man mug. Very exciting. We've got this Elect Democrats hex sign as a tote bag. Very cool. And then
this one's
for the
kind
sociology,
of niche. You had to study sociology probably to really. Team Weber.
Yeah, but we've got Max Weber
using
a
Weber grill. Any Team Weber fans here besides me?
Who is the target audience?
Them! It's them!
Just Taylor and Jordy.
Well, yeah.
And the people we imagine we want to be friends with.
Yeah. I think the cannabis hex mug
I think the cannabis hex
I think that could be a seller.
I think that's a seller. I'm just wondering.
I think you're talking about the Team Weber. That's the one, Jess, that you're really.
Well, and some of the others. I
like
it.
the Communism Man.
You know,
I think that one's pretty funny.
I love all things barnstorming. I just feel like if we're going for mass appeal.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's not. Did you
What
not get the
about
mission
us
statement?
says mass appeal?
That's not the mission statement.
Okay,
Who doesn't
and
want to buy their like right-wing relative a communism man copy?
And by mass appeal, I do mean like the 25 people who listen every episode to every episode, and I feel like some of them are sometimes not going to get it.
Sometimes it's up to 75 or 100.
No, I know. To every episode, I said.
Oh, to every episode. Yeah, that's
which is like us
yeah.
and our families.
How do you get your family?
Speaking of,
I don't actually. I know Jordy's
my mother
mom and Taylor's mom listens.
Actually, my mother-in-law listens more, but hasn't contributed yet. My mom, I asked her if she could do $10 a month, and she goes, "No, I can't, but I can give you $60 a year." And I was like, or $5 a month. And she's like, "No, but I can give you $60 a year." And I was like, "Okay,
sure.
Mom,
sounds
sure,
good.
That's fine." I was asking her to be a recurring donor. She's like, "Oh, I can't do that, but I can give you $60."
But you know, shout out to our other recurring donors. One's on the call, just
one's on the call. Oh, it was supposed to be a guessing game.
Samantha Pearson, another patron of ours on Patreon.
So sweet. Me and Sam.
Yeah, I think we have other ones.
And maybe Jordy's mom.
No.
Maybe not.
No, not yet.
No, we do. We do have other recurring donors.
Just not my mom is what I was saying.
Just not.
If only your mom was willing to support your work. Recurring.
She gave you $60.
She did. Yeah, she is supporting it. I just wanted her to.
Yeah. That's actively the amount you asked for in a faster timeline.
It's different though.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. Yeah. So anyway, talking isn't free, even though we're just talking. It's not free. Donate to Barnstorming on Patreon. Help it. You know, we have some bills. Help us keep the show going. Shout out to Hope Abrams, the independent that works diligently to get our podcasts up. Very exciting thing happening in Barnstorming. Any other housekeeping, Jordy?
Jess just complimented my hat. I'm not sure I made sure that among the metaphorical hats I wear, I have this one, which is a change in my life. Is I'm the organizer I'm the canvas and training organizer for Action Together in NEPA.
Is this breaking news?
It is now.
This is a red letter day for Barnstorming PA. We've had
so many breaking news stories.
We're 20 minutes in. Yeah, breaking news stories.
I'm still trying to figure out why my camera won't turn on.
We can see you.
I know, but I have my nice ring light, and
I just complimented your hat.
Yeah, thank you.
What do you want?
Can I tell you, since we're way over time anyway, can I just tell you a little canvassing story?
Save it for the.
Right. I'll save it. That's not a good headline, but I'll save it.
I was just kidding.
Okay.
No, Taylor, keep us going. Keep us on track.
So I actually do think that next is headlines, if I'm not mistaken. So go first if you want.
Well, I did have a warm up question, but maybe do you want to skip that?
I think we're warmed up.
Pretty warm.
Pretty warm here, yeah.
We do have 5 people watching. Is anybody keeping an eye on the chat?
No, they're all Terrain's friends.
It's all about Huskies.
Oh my god.
Terrain is the best.
I would argue, and I would argue
represented in the chat.
If you promise to mention the you promise to mention Huskies in every episode, you'll always have these people.
You know, Huskies was what my mom told me I'd have to wear if I didn't watch my weight when I was a kid. Did anybody else? She'd be like, "You'll have to wear husky pants." It was like, I don't know if that was a Southern thing. No one else has heard that. It was like pants for like slightly overweight kids were called Huskies. No, is that just my personal trauma that I've shared?
I've heard slightly overweight kids called husky, but I've never.
I don't know. She would take me to like J.C. Penney.
A description of a person.
Yeah, she would take me to J.C. Penney, and she'd be like, "You have to go buy husky pants," because I was a little pudge. Okay, sorry. No more. I won't relate anyone.
But anyway, the Huskies, like that's the mascot for Bloomsburg.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
University.
great. It's a dog.
So,
It's not
No,
a
it's a
conquered
dog.
people, so that's nice.
Rungo is the name of the Huskies.
Rungo, baby.
Grungo.
Nope.
Rungo.
Rungo.
Roongo is the
Nice.
name of the husky.
Is that
I
a
don't know
mispronunciation
why.
of run go?
It's
No.
maroon and gold.
Oh.
I don't know why we would need that in the future, but maybe there's going to be some stuff in the chat about it. But Rungo is the name of the husky.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can do some merch about that.
They'll
That would be
buy
great.
it. They'll buy it. They'll buy it immediately.
And there it is in the chat.
Yep. People love pet products. Like maybe we could get, a special bandana, like a maroon and gold bandana.
With a
Dogs.
marijuana leaf in the that'll sell. Okay, so headlines. Y'all know the drill. Just a
Sorry. It's the chat. The chat's the best. Sorry. Go ahead.
Niche jokes in the chat too.
Yep.
Dr. Strine's finest educated.
We'll come back to it. Go ahead.
We'll
Keep
just leave-
going.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
You gotta
Keep
keep.
going.
That's a
You
headline.
gotta power through.
Keep
They'll
going.
keep doing this.
Y'all have this is kind of like one of the I feel like I'm that guy that did Whose Line Is It Anyway? Y'all have one headline of something that
You gotta power
Okay.
through.
Okay.
You gotta keep doing.
I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time focusing. There's so much stuff going on. Just a quick headline about something that's going on. Something doesn't have to be that current eventsy. It can just be something that's not getting a lot of attention right now. So Jordy had a headline.
I do. Yes. Mine is Harrisburg Republicans rival Smog, however you say that if you're a Tolkien person. Harrisburg Republicans rival Smog for hoarding treasure. That's my headline. So
Do you care to get some
yeah, I'll just say a little bit, but we don't want to spend too long on these. So I was really enjoying the Pennsylvania Budget Policy Center's they did their virtual budget summit, and I find it really hard to find good, deep analysis on Pennsylvania politics. Often it's just really hard. So I was really enjoying it, and they talked about. I knew this, but I hadn't heard it recently. Pennsylvania state government is sitting on $10.7 billion. Yeah, Smaug is the dragon who sits on the gold in our private chat. Yeah, Smaug. I always said Smog as a kid.
You gotta power through.
Gotta power through. Terrain. Do we have to pay you for this podcast coaching?
If you have a time you're trying to meet, you gotta power through this.
Uh-huh.
That'll be $50,000.
Yeah. So let me start over. Smog is a dragon. He sits on a pile of gold. That's just like the Republicans sitting on $10.7 billion that could be used for
Academic relief?
schools. Some of it's ARPA. I think a lot of it could be used for infrastructure, could be used for schools.
in unrestricted funds.
Stop interrupting me.
In unrestricted funds.
Yeah, in unrestricted funds. I don't know. Yes, I don't know all of it. It's in several funds. But all that matters is it's a big pile of gold. I don't know if it's on the left side or the right side. It's a huge pile of gold money. And, they want to continue to convince people that we can't have good things. And my worries are going to sit on this money they're like, it's our rainy day fund. And it's like, hey, dude, we're in it's like a Noah flood event here. So let's spend it.
Great.
Let's see. Next headline. Who wants to go? I'll call on you if you don't raise your hand. Jess.
I think my headline, speaking of sitting on money and economic opportunities, student loan debt still a problem. Still a problem. We keep pushing it down the road. People have all kinds of anxiety. People are stressed out. People are worried about how they're paying. I know gas prices, and we can get into a whole conversation about where that problem comes from. People are worried about it. People are worried about how they're paying to feed their families and just support their general, needs for their life. And meanwhile, everyone is hanging out, waiting to see if they have to pay massive, massive student loan debt that President Biden could just make go away. That's my headline. Student loan debt, still a problem. Sorry, Terrain. Love you.
Cheers.
Is Terrain like the kid now, like finishing his homework on the back of the bus, like a minute from school?
just guessing.
Redoing the entire assignment.
I'm just guessing. But I saw his face and I went, oh, just stole yours.
Terrain, you can have the same issue in a different headline.
Okay, I'll go. My headline is "The Final Countdown?" ? Because we keep, as Jess has pointed out, kicking the can down the road. We keep pausing the student loan payments and pushing it back. We are now set to restart them again in May. I have a vested interest in whether or not that happens. And you get Ron Klain going on Pod Save America and saying, we're looking into whether or not we're going to move the pause further down or potentially get rid of some of it. And it's like, hey guys, why don't you just do it? This is a pretty popular thing for your voters. It is a pretty big economic boom. Why not do that and put some spending power in the pockets of people who are paying off debts that they'll be paying off until they die? So yeah, the final countdown ?
Since this has come up twice, this very important topic, I just want to point out something that is an alternative solution that comes from the private sphere, not from government. So Purdue University for a couple of years has had a thing. I forget the exact name, but we could basically call it voluntary indentured servitude, where if I'm a student, why are you shaking your head at me, Jess? I'm not.
I don't feel like it's great, but go ahead.
I'm positive it's not, because he's told us this before.
Yep, don't love it, but continue.
Okay. Basically, if you're a student, you can sign up for this program where then there are rich people who will pay some of your cost of education now, and in exchange, you agree to pay an X percentage of your future income for X years. So I don't know the exact numbers, but maybe 10% for 10 years or whatever.
What's that thing from The Office where Michael
You talking about Scott
pledges
Stotts?
to Scott Stotts? Yeah,
You talking Scott Stotts right now?
sounds like Scott Stotts.
So
Sounds perfect. Continue.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's, it's basically like, it's so ripe for abuse. It's so stupid because, basically you're asking rich people to invest in students. Like, you're pushing students to then, and I saw this when I was a college professor, they're like, well, I have to go in something that'll be super lucrative. So maybe they want to study nursing, or they want to study, art history, which is a great thing to study. And they end up, being like, well, I have to work in finance. Banking should be lucrative and boring. If there are people who are really smart and want to take risks, like, have them work in art or like writing or something. Like, part of the problem is we've pushed all these crazy risk takers into finance for the last 35 years, and they take crazy risks and they build huge financial systems that implode on themselves, and we have to clean it up. So anyway, sorry, I'm rambling.
I feel like all of the risks taken in the finance industry have gone super well. I'm just not sure what you're referring to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just throwing that out there.
So we've got two people left, Jenna and Taylor. Who wants to go next?
I mean, I keep going back and forth. All right, I'm just gonna say the fight for 15 has gone on so long, it's not enough anymore.
Yeah.
Plus 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, can you live on $15 an hour? Because I sure can't. I don't understand how anybody is possibly surviving on these trash wages that they're paying people. I mean, and the pandemic has forced a lot of companies to up their wages, which is good, but yeah, it's insanity. It's insanity to try and ask people to live on just pennies, essentially, especially whenever, like, literally this whole, like, poverty is just created by capitalism. It's a byproduct of capitalism. We made it up. We could decide it doesn't exist tomorrow. There's more than enough money in the world. There's more than enough for everybody if we didn't have people hoarding it. There's no reason that it needs to exist. It's insane.
Jenna,
I feel
love
like
how
I came across the Fight for 15 in like 2015 or 2014 or sometime around then. I wonder what that would be now if you adjusted for inflation.
1743.
64.
Yeah,
We should raise it to 1776 and call it Patriot Pay.
Did you just make that up?
No.
Oh.
But
That's a $50,000 idea.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant, right?
Yeah. It is brilliant. Jenna, I also like how when you said we could make poverty go away, and somewhere out there, maybe, I hope not one of our listeners, but there's somebody saying to themselves, we could by changing the federal definition of poverty, not by actually fixing the problem. So this is one of these, we have to be careful what we wish for. I hope you don't mind. I tweaked it a little bit because as you were saying it, I realized it would work really well with the $ as like a visual headline. So is that okay? 15 ain't enough.
It is not.
My headline is no natural disasters.
Oh, oldie but a goodie.
Yeah. This has come up in conversation, like, I feel like 2 times in the last 48 hours. And as a student of disasters, it really irks me when people call things natural disasters, because no, like, we call them natural hazards. Like, these things do exist, hurricanes and tornadoes and tsunamis and stuff like that. But it's often our poor development choices and the horrible systems that we've designed to respond to them, and the horrible social systems that we've constructed to help alleviate poverty and differential development and all these things that contribute to making these hazards a disaster. So the phrase natural disasters completely places any blame on us outside of ourselves and onto just the ether. And so I really dislike that phrase because I think it leaves us not culpable of the things that we've done to enable these disasters. So I don't know if I expressed that eloquently enough, but
You did.
That's my feelings on it.
I don't know, Taylor, because it snowed yesterday and today it was 70 degrees and there was a hurricane outside my house. So I feel like that's pretty natural. I feel like that's very normal, and humans are not.
Humans have had
responsible
absolutely
for
nothing.
None of that. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, that seems like a totally natural thing to be happening.
It was God's plan, in fact.
Sure. No, for sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, it's nonsense. And I just,
Yeah.
Are you ready, Taylor? Thank you for the headlines, everybody. Taylor, are you ready for is it a game, an activity?
Yeah, we're playing it's a bracket, actually. So
We love brackets. Jess, you keep shaking your head. No, I don't. Too close to sports bars?
The last time we did a bracket with Taylor, it was the most depressing experience of my life.
Oh my God.
Rain, you were there too.
The Breyers ice cream one?
No.
We weren't there for that.
No.
We got, hey, let's do a bracket of what are some of the worst things to happen. Let's do that.
I cried. Yeah, I cried myself to sleep for like 3 weeks after that.
What's worse, the insurrection or the big lie that led to
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't look at the outline. I just logged on and now I'm regretting it. Go ahead. No, let's do a bracket. Whatever.
Oh, yes. Let's go. I like this one. It's funny to me.
Okay. Can you guys hear this? Can you hear it?
No, I think maybe you need to like share sound. Like when you share, like unshare first.
I can see it. I don't hear anything, which is
I didn't hear anything either. So
sometimes you don't need to hear anything. Just
it's
let it
fine.
wash over you.
at the bottom, when you click on the shares, it's just like Zoom. And I know that you old people have a hard time with technology. But when you click on share screen, it says system audio, and you have to tick that box.
I'm not seeing that.
You called him old. I'm just wondering. You said you had trouble using your camera that you're currently using. Is that right?
Where is this,
Fine.
Jordy?
It's before you say yes, you impulsive young person. Stop.
No, I see.
Click on share screen, and before you say yes, there's a little thing at the bottom that says use system audio. If we can see your screen, you waited too long.
I'm not
all
seeing
of
it.
the
So.
Barnstorming PA listeners who support this podcast.
Yep.
You're getting an in-depth, behind-the-scenes look
No,
at
not
what
there.
goes on. No,
Okay.
I'm trying to help you guys.
I'm not getting
Okay.
it.
Stop sharing the screen,
Oh, boy.
please.
Listen,
So
y'all,
when
I tried.
I'm telling you, Jordy, that I don't have.
I believe you. I believe you. When I click on share screen, I get a pop-up dialog window, and I have the option. It's like gray, and it says share system audio. So you're not getting that?
No, I see allow, never for this website, or don't allow. I don't see anything like. Can I just give you the?
Yes. Yeah. Just stick it in the private chat. I'll do it. I think it might be an Apple thing or something. Maybe.
Could be. This is
has
number
been
one.
Tech Talk with Jordy and Taylor. Next time, we're going to be talking about how to use Zoom.
New
It's
segment of
it's
Barnstorming.
right up there with our map podcast.
What's up?
Yeah, exactly.
What's up? This is Where in the World with Taylor and Jordy.
It's going to be amazing.
So I'll do the first one. Yeah.
Can I say?
Now.
Does anyone want to tell
No,
Jordy that
can't
we
get
don't
it?
see or hear anything?
You shouldn't be able to yet. I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Share screen.
We're okay.
Jenna left like she did like a whole work day, and we're still trying to figure this out.
No, I was actually yelling at my cat.
No, it's okay. We're just waiting.
What kind of cat do you have?
I don't know. They're
Sorry.
It's a leopard. Leopard.
a gray
Jaguar, don't talk to me. Sorry,
A gray
about that.
one.
I will have two gray cats, one named Indiana Jones and one named Ninja.
Those are some
Who wins
excellent,
those fights?
excellent
Whole
names.
other podcast.
It's a toss up.
Yeah.
It's a toss up.
Mamet Oz?
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mamet Oz?
Yeah.
Oprah's back?
Okay, Taylor, do you want to set this up at all, or should I just hit play?
Bracket, first video, bracket number one.
Okay, awesome. And do we have criteria here, like best, worst, funniest? Just make it up as we go along.
I think we're just making it up.
Awesome. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Mamet Oz? Oprah's bestie?
Republican in name only.
Oz's family company hired illegal immigrants. So brave.
Oz supported those red flag laws that take away people's guns.
Oz criticized heartbeat bills.
So liberal.
Oz isn't running in California?
What is a Pennsylvania?
This sounds right for Hollywood. Wrong for Pennsylvania.
Honor Pennsylvania Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Wow.
Can I just say, before we even go into the bracket, so Honor Pennsylvania, the pack that's supporting McCormick puts these up, and they do this like end shot of Dr. Oz with like paws up and a weird growly face every time, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. It is actively incredibly funny, and I'm just always shocked when not shocked, but like just tickled when I see it. It's so funny.
I don't know. I'm glad you're on this because you can, you see more ads. I feel like you're an expert.
I just watched Jeopardy and they put all the money is spent at that time.
There are so many levels of symbolism.
It's crazy.
I don't feel qualified to unpack. Like, what am I supposed to be taking away from this picture of him?
This.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think
He's
they wanted to do like a
very
weird jungle
scary.
theme at the end because he's a rhinoceros, like he's a rhino. He's a rhinoceros.
Yeah,
So they have the rhino in front of him, and then they have the rhino move, and then he's doing a weird jungle pose too.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
somebody thought that was good.
I did not get that.
Well, that's what's
Multiple people thought that was good.
Yeah, that's what I'm like wondering. I'm like, did they have some kind of like polling data to suggest that this was like, can I see the message testing results on this, please? Like,
Well, and how much money was spent on that?
I think a lot.
I bet a lot too.
I feel like
we're in the wrong media business.
They did
I think
this,
we
like
are
they were trying like both Oz and McCormick, or PACs that supported Oz and McCormick, were like heavy with ad buys early. They're trying to drown out the rest of the competition, and essentially make it like for one of them to be the obvious choice. And both are trying to do that, and both are kind of throwing some hilariously ridiculous or just outright wild racist ads, and it's pretty crazy.
There's so many.
It's kind of dog whistly, right? Like the whole like jungle thing feels dog whistly to me.
Oh yeah, it sure as hell does.
I feel like America has gotten so good at dog whistle, and because I think Terrain, you just said outright racism. Like I feel like we need a new continuum. Remember in 9/11 we had sort of yellow to green. We need sort of seven layers of like how close it is to overt racism. Does that make sense? Like because there's so many gradations now.
That would be a pretty good.
That would be depressing.
50 Shades of Racism.
I think we have an episode title, Taylor.
But I feel like just the fact that literally that was framed as like, I feel like maybe this is dog whistly. Like that's like all of the dog whistles going off at the same time. Like maybe this is like, no, if it feels like that, it definitely is. And that sort of proves the point that it's just, there are those different levels and people have gotten way too comfortable with all of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Taylor, should we do the next one? How did you mention this?
Yeah, I think we should do the next one. And yeah, let's. I put it in the chat.
Yeah, I got it. Can you all see my screen now?
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
You can hear? I love it already, Tad and Chad, but you guys can hear, is that right?
No, we're still on the
last.
It had a little button that said share this tab instead.
I'm Tad.
I'm Chad.
We're Finance Bros.
Finance Bro Dave McCormick is our hero.
Hey, bro, your vest is pretty boss.
Twinning.
Woo!
He's the Wolf of Westport, Connecticut.
Running for Senate in Pennsylvania.
Pitching the locals, he's one of them. Pennsylvania.
Isn't that where Philadelphia is?
What a dump. Wall Street rules. Pennsylvanians are fools.
Growing up, I baled hay. Worked hard.
He means he chased girls.
Bro,
played football here.
Bro, do you think saying I invest in China is a good pickup line?
Investing in foreign adversaries always plays.
Chug! Yeah! That's a real man!
Do you think Dave McCormick actually has to drink Yingling?
Dave shares my values.
Cash money and getting paid, particularly from China.
Even after they gave us COVID.
Let's go, China!
Let's go, China!
Let's go!
Cash money and getting paid! China!
McCormick sent jobs overseas.
One day, maybe we can do that.
To the Wolf of Westport.
The Wolf of Westport! Ow! China. You think they have hard seltzer there?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go! Dave's more than another finance bro.
He's China's bro. Gotta make that money, gotta make that money. Know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm 10.
Don't let that play again.
Wait a minute.
Can you?
So
Oh, sorry,
Oz,
I joined this
Dr.
podcast.
Oz
Also,
is,
that was not
trying to rip on
either.
Dave
That was-
McCormick for being from Connecticut when he is in fact from New Jersey.
See-
Like he is every bit a carpetbagger.
That is textbook political strategy of like, what's one of my weaknesses? Well, immediately throw it at your opponent. That's their weakness, and now it's not mine. the
therapists call that projection. Just saying. Throwing that out there.
I know this was our idea to do a bracket like this, but I'm starting to feel like Jess was right. I don't know if we should keep going.
I don't like it. I feel.
I mean,
sick.
that was so. It hurt my head in so many ways.
I think the next two are actually they're kind of different, which is why I paired these two together.
First of all,
the chat noticed that they were playing the "It's Always Sunny" music. Which was essentially like a play on. I in my opinion, from my understanding, it kind of just seems like, yeah, It's Always Sunny is about a bunch of pieces of shit. These people that are in this ad, they like Dave McCormick and they're pieces of shit. Did you know that Dave McCormick's also a piece of shit? Like, that's what the ad was telling you. And it was just like, I feel like they laid it on too thick.
But like,
definitely they laid it on too thick.
Am I going crazy, or did I keep hearing a bike bell?
It's the music. That's part of the music.
Yeah, it's from the show. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I see. Clearly, Taylor, I don't know if I have the pop culture chops to keep doing this, because like most of this goes over my head.
Can I tell you guys something really quickly? Jordy was telling me that he bought a bunch of fleece vests, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And he was like, why?
Are you Glenn Duncan or Dave McCormick?
Jordy, we're going to talk about your uniform tomorrow.
I just like to wear them because they keep me warm.
Nope.
But just like a specific part of you, though, right?
Yeah, because I'm, I'm kind of a big guy. I'm husky.
Sometimes my chest gets cold, but my arms are still pretty warm.
They're so warm.
Wait, that's actually true about me. I don't know why I'm getting made fun of. I'm walking around. It's perfect 50-degree, clothes. It's like it's not cold enough to be fully covered to my arms. I've got some you've got some airflow here, so I can, air the underarm. Again, audio podcast. I'm motioning to under my arm.
This is a video that's out right now.
That's true.
People are watching it live.
I mean, Arista is, it offends you. Can you speak to that, Train? Does it offend Arista because she loves the show, or is that all?
Show. Yeah, he likes the show.
He likes the show.
He likes the show. He likes Philly.
Can I just point out that
which one advances? Which one advances?
If I'm picking,
it's got to be Tad and Chad.
Tad and Chad is the more like absolute ridiculous, and I think it's probably because Tad and Chad got a minute and a half to like be ridiculous, whereas the other one had 30 seconds, and they had to throw as much as they could in 30 seconds.
What are the parameters? Are we going for which one is better?
No,
or which
I mean,
one is
this
worse?
is
what am I supposed to pick?
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. This is well designed. Taylor said we just make it up. Jenna, I mean, where are you on this? I mean, what can you add any? Can you save us?
I mean, it's. I don't have an issue with it, but it's it's mildly it's entertaining, but mildly terrifying that this is where we are as a society. But
I mean, I don't know. So first of all,
whatever y'all want to do, I don't care. I'm just here.
Well, so like, are Tad and Chad? Do we think they're actors?
Wait,
definitely
stop.
they're actors.
Wait, what do you?
Yeah.
Wait,
What?
stop.
Yeah.
Now, hang on.
They're not good actors.
Now
but
I have to ask a really tough question that I didn't think I'd have to ask, which was, Jordy, did you think we just watched a documentary?
No, but I mean, what I mean is like, I'm trying to rewind this in my head, and I'm like, okay, so they went to an audition and they said, "Yep, you know what? I need to eat, and this will advance my career."
They were acting. Have you ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Like once,
They were
like part of it.
acting like the characters in the show.
But
that was like
but I'm
the
wondering,
thing
like,
that
is
you're
there old
missing, I
footage?
think.
Yeah. Is there old footage of Will Smith, or maybe too soon? Is there old footage of like Dustin Hoffman doing a political ad, or like Meryl Streep got her start in political ads? Like, has any actor done political ads and gone on to have a career?
So here's the thing: the good actors are Democrats, and they're not going to do these ads.
Listen, if they need to eat, I'm not going to judge them as.
I am going to judge them.
All right.
I thought Tad and Chad was so good. I don't even remember what Dave McCormick's attack ad was.
It was the Californians. He had a bunch of people say, "Oh, he's like from California. It's like he's running in California." By the way, what? No, he's not. It doesn't doesn't feel that way at all.
That's also such a like, let's shit on other parts of the country. You know, I hate that kind of. But real quick, like,
in Pennsylvania,
wasn't that actually
do that? So that does work.
No.
Real America versus.
But wasn't there actually some, like, to me there were some things in that, not the way it was done, but I'm like, if this were an ad attacking a Republican from a populist point of view, like that McCormick is all in bed with the financial industry, I'm like, yeah, I think that's a valid criticism. Like, was this a better ad than a Democrat would run?
I think this was actually, yeah. I mean, like he is like, wasn't he the manager of the largest hedge fund in America or something like that? You know, like. I think that's true.
Men that powerful shouldn't have to run for office. They should just have it handed to them.
So that's a Mike Bloomberg.
Jordy with a radical take.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it wasn't a terrible ad until the China stuff happened.
The China stuff was a little
like, at first I'm like thinking like, okay, whose ad is it? Like, who's this going to be, a Democrat's ad? Like, whose ad?
I thought it was for him at first.
Then they said something about China, and I was like, oh. Okay.
Honestly, for 15 seconds, maybe because I taught at Bucknell, and this is probably going to alienate any former students who might be watching this. I was like, oh yeah, like this is like cool, great. He does finance. He should be a senator. Like, it took me about 15 seconds to realize it was an attack ad against him from within the party.
The Bison don't watch this. This is a Huskies podcast. Sorry.
Yeah. As I said earlier, this is no longer my podcast. It's yours, Terrain, and I just visit.
Right.
Okay.
So
next one.
I think we should vote.
Oh yeah, Tad and Chad is moving on.
I think Tad and Chad have to move on. And I mean, oh boy. It's just a rough time.
I just don't understand what we're voting for. Are we voting for?
My criteria is, what did I just watch? And from the aspect of what did I just watch, it's absolutely Tad and Chad. And I might be biased because, again, I watch Jeopardy almost every day. So I'm probably going to see some of these ads. I've probably seen them 400 times. But
my God,
but I don't follow the right people on Twitter to see Tad and Chad bopping around like weirdos.
So Tad and Chad's got the novelty points for you. It's new, it's fresh. Tad and Chad
99,000 people saw that on Twitter.
I do think generally that's the better ad. I just don't know if that's what the metric of judgment is.
Okay, it's Tad and Chad. We need to move on.
I think it's a better ad.
Okay, here's the next one. It's called Forgotten Places. Wait, can you hear the?
Yeah.
You want to talk about forgotten places? I spent the last 20 years living in a community that was written off. There's a lot of great towns in Pennsylvania that feel like their community's best days were a generation ago or more. These kind of people deserve to participate in the American dream. They want somebody that's going to tell it to them the way it is. Pennsylvania is a beautiful and complex and diverse state. From Philadelphia to a county of 5,000 like Cameron. It's not rural versus urban, it's rural and urban. Every county matters here in Pennsylvania, and we can't leave anyone behind. We can't leave anyone out of the conversation. For the last 20 years, this is where I've been, fighting for the same places, the people and principles. It hasn't changed, and that's why I'm running for the U.S. Senate. I'm not willing to write off any region, any county, any part of Pennsylvania. I'm John Fetterman, and I approve this message.
This is his most recent ad. This is why I picked it.
I cannot even imagine this side of the bracket, but okay.
This one is more serious. This one is more serious.
This is the serious side of the bracket.
What stands out to me about this ad, I think, is that like these other ads were so incredibly ridiculous, right? And like this ad is, I mean, it's like it's really good. I mean, and it's like that's what we're up against, and we're somehow still losing.
Oh my God, you're so right.
I'd argue though,
you know, like it's like that versus this, and people are voting for that.
I'd argue though, with those ads, those are specifically Those are specific. Those aren't like geared to like vote for me ads. These are don't vote for this person. Like that's
fair. Okay,
where this one is meant for us to be like, this one is meant for us to be like, okay, Fetterman has our back. Fetterman has the back of everybody across PA, and like I think it's a good like it's a good early ad. I mean, at some point in ads, you're gonna have to like talk about what you believe in, what you stand for, and what you're going to do when you get there. But as an early ad, just in like an early primary ad saying, well, it's not early, we're voting pretty soon, but in like in a way that you're like, I'm not attacking anybody, I'm just letting everybody know this is like a not introductory ad, but like this is, I am going to fight for everybody in Pennsylvania. I'm not going to just fight for one specific group. I think it's a good message to send. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it, it's obviously devoid of any sort of policy, but that's not what that ad is about at this time.
Oh, if anything, Terrain, like generally Democrats, liberals, whatever, usually err so far the other way, like this was, in the sense that they're going to throw a bunch of policy figures and they think that wins political arguments. So I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
We looked at one of Fetterman's earlier ads on an earlier podcast.
His announcement ad.
I thought this was better. This was more uplifting. I remember we all felt like the other one was a little too playing into the idea, although there was a similar theme, very dark, nothing can be done. This one was, more about the resilience. And I mean, obviously weaving in the rural urban. I mean, that's my love language. It's going to get me every time. I don't like it when he said these places or these people, he said, I don't, he should have said, we are the people,
But it is a little othering.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, like, just going back to the first point, like remembering that the Republican primary electorate and the Democratic primary electorate look very, very different at this point. And
you want to, yeah.
I mean, I just going on the metrics of, yes, those first two were wild and totally ridiculous. And whatever we think of this one, I think it's, I mean, I have some thoughts. I pretty much share Terrain's analysis. Like it is still a little dark in the sense that it's not showing anything positive, but I think at least it's speaking to people and not caricatures, which those other two were kind of going for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think this is a particularly memorable ad either, which I think is a problem. Like, and the other two are extremely memorable, like, and eye-catching. And yeah, I don't know.
But I remember the day I dropped a knife on my toe much more than the 20 days that were beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but I mean, like, I don't know. I guess in general, like, I feel like this could have been a Fetterman ad 4 years ago or 6 years ago, and like it could have been the same thing. And like I feel like sometimes I just, the one trick pony, kind of situation. I wish he would talk about something else.
I mean, I think that was a horse, not a pony in the ad. And I definitely think that it seemed like the African-American gentleman who was like a horse whisperer, that seemed like a Netflix show about to happen. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah, they picked it up for a full season.
Okay. All right. All right. Move on to the last one, Taylor.
Yeah, let's do that.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Taylor, I love your Welsh Corgi.
You haven't seen them.
I know, but I hear that it's so cute.
The concern for health and my future is not just concern for me, but for my wife. When I do retire, my wife, we lose health insurance with my wife, so we're going to have to try to pick that up. Health costs here in Pennsylvania are out of control, totally out of control. Our health insurance has gone from, we had good health insurance at work, to a plan that's not really good at all. I'm not into government-controlled health care. Just make it affordable. That's all. Just affordable health care, especially affordable for the senior citizens. I'll be there. So 2 years left to retirement. I'm wondering, how is my health care going to work? It's a very stressful situation. Doug Mastriano is like an IV of hope. He gives us hope here in Pennsylvania so we can afford to live. That's what we need. Someone who can help us to afford to live. I support Doug Mastriano.
IV for hope. Oh my God.
Because I can tell where this is going. So I want to 100% just come out of the gate and say, I think that was a good ad.
It was a good ad.
I think it was a good ad too.
Good ad.
It was really good, and that's
okay. I didn't think it was going this way. I'll be quiet.
No, Mastriano. I literally tell everybody who will listen that Mastriano is the absolute worst nightmare of every fucking buddy in this state. Republican, Democrat, this right here, this man is our absolute worst nightmare. He is smart. He's articulate. He's a decorated veteran. So you can't really
charismatic.
You can't pin him with the fascist thing. And he has a massive following. I mean, he got 28,000 petition signatures, more than all the other Republican candidates for governor combined. He is a force to be reckoned with, and nobody in either establishment is scared enough of this man.
Yeah.
And if he's talking about stuff like healthcare affordability and not like J6 election audit nonsense, like then we're really
He's
so smart.
He's
so
speaking directly with that like, I mean, the visual of he's a veteran, he's got his motorcycle cut on. That ad will speak to every single person in rural Pennsylvania.
And I want to also point out that ad not only was like just a person delivering a talk to people saying like, this is something I worry about. I worry about the cost of healthcare. It's a very important thing. Not only that, but it also like he has that. So he appeals to, moderate, centrist, even like Democrats who are interested, but also he's got the Bikers for Trump pin. So you still get that wink, wink, nod, nod. You know what I'm about. Like it covered a lot of bases that a lot of political ads don't tend to do. I think unfortunately that is probably the best ad we've watched out of the four.
I think it was more of a sidearm hug than a wink, wink, nudge.
I totally
and it was
agree.
probably the cheapest too.
And not hyper produced, but a very simple testimonial ad. You get such a massive return on your investment for doing it, and it required very little production, and it's going to have widespread appeal. So I agree. It's by far the best ad.
I haven't seen Josh Shapiro put out an ad nearly that good.
Yeah.
Just going to throw it out there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I do want to, and I'm not somebody who uses Medicare. I just feel like it is important for us to talk about the facts. He says, I'm going to retire in 2 years. What's my healthcare going to be? And I'm like, it's going to be Medicare.
Yeah.
Which most people love. And
well, this was not a solution.
Though, how do you expect to reduce the cost of healthcare if the government doesn't take control of it? Right now, our healthcare is all private companies. Unless the government takes control of the process, you can't lower the price. Yeah. So, like the whole logic is flawed, but it doesn't matter because of the way that he talks about it. It's so like personal to people.
But it's being communicated to people who don't understand that logic is flawed.
Right.
So therefore, it's convincing.
That's right. It's keep the government's damn hands off my Medicare.
Exactly.
You have to take control of the government in order.
The government is unpopular. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, very popular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Get the government's hands off my Medicaid.
That's right. Yeah. The problem for most folks with Medicare is the prescription drug benefit donut hole. It's called, right? So like that's the thing that may cost him, but like I mean I feel like Jenna, what you said was so like interesting and perceptive, and like were it possible, I'm not sure it would quite be an ad, but it would be amazing for, let's say, Shapiro to go find this gentleman, his name was close to Mastriano. Wasn't it like Mavalik or something?
McDevitt, I think.
McDevitt.
Yeah.
Go find McDevitt and simply just interview, talking to him and saying, I hear you that you're concerned about your healthcare. Here's what's going to happen when you both retire and go into Medicare, right? And just like almost like a canvas, like just record that. And maybe you wouldn't convince him, but then like if you showed like that 3-minute ad after people watch it, it'd be like, yeah, I really agree with him. But actually, everything Doug Mastriano wants, none of it will actually address his concerns.
Yeah, I mean, if it were done correctly, I think they could, but
if there's some blue money out there that wants to see that ad produced, send it to us. We'll find what's his name again?
We're gonna find what's his face.
Wayne McDevitt.
Yeah,
Wayne McDevitt. I will go down.
But
We'll go to the American Legion.
I don't
we'll
think
talk it up.
he's gonna sign a release for you, though. that's a like.
He might.
Unfortunately, an important thing about this is he has to agree to do it.
Yeah, but I think so. Here's the thing: who knows who Doug Mastriano is? Right in Pennsylvania right now, there's the group on the Trump end. They know he's good, right? He was at the Capitol January 6th. There's the group on our end, which is like, oh my God, this guy is a nightmare. And most of us probably not taking him seriously enough. To Jenna's point, I think that's 100% accurate. There's a whole swath in the middle who don't know who he is. They're not aware of any of those perceptions of him. So if they're seeing something like this that seems like, oh, this is addressing an everyday concern. I am worried about how I'm going to pay for my health care. I am worried about having people represent me who understand what my struggle is. This is an amazing way to convince them to vote for him.
Yeah. And I can almost just see into the future where like he's done a perfect campaign and everybody knows him for like, oh, he's the guy that wants to tackle healthcare, prescription drug affordability and fixing the unemployment system so that it's better, more responsive. And then we're like shouting, no, he's a Rambo fantasizing, freeloading, whatever we came up with.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing. And then we're coded as like, fanatical leftists
against the working people who are struggling to pay for their everyday needs. Yeah. That's why it is a really good scenario.
That's why it's important.
I completely
sorry, go ahead.
I completely agree with Jenna that it's just like people that are underestimating his appeal and his viability as a gubernatorial candidate are sadly mistaken.
But listen, these people, they were right. Clinton has it in the bag.
Yeah, it is big Hillary. It is big Hillary vibes going on for sure. I mean, I think I'm not counting out Shapiro yet. I mean, it's
no, I didn't take it that you meant that
to tell. But I mean, he's going to have his work cut out for him, and if his campaign doesn't respond, appropriately, it could be a lot. I think it's going to be a lot harder for Shapiro than some folks think.
For someone who is really like Josh Shapiro at this point, he has no primary opponent. He is running unopposed to get to the general. I would argue that it would be important to spend some time and some money defining who your opponent is going to be, whether that be like pointing out who Doug Mastriano is before Doug Mastriano can point out who he is. Like it is like you can't allow your opponent to define themselves, and then when you actually finally try to do that, it's too late. Like he has the time. I mean, I do think he needs to push his own positive message, but you also have to point out who you are going to be running against, whether it be Mastriano or one of the other like you have to define them before they are able to define themselves as someone who is a reasonable alternative.
Yeah, I guess the The reason why I threw that Mastriano ad in there and had all these other crazy ads was like, I guess the point I was trying to make was that like sometimes the best money ads or the best ads money can buy are awful.
Mhm.
And yeah, campaigns are about a lot more than who can raise the most money.
It's
Well, and
the grassroots, the grassroots power that Mastriano has behind him is what makes him so dangerous. It's more powerful than money. You can outwork money in a campaign.
Definitely.
And you know, a little bit. I haven't been following this primary very much, but like at least I mean, Oz and McClintock are for Senate.
McCormick.
Right?
Yeah.
McCormick. Like it's just thinking about Oz like being like kind of, you know, he's a newcomer outsider to politics, and like that ad and like all the money he's raising, it's like his people and his advisors, they think this is like a Philly, you know, Pittsburgh media strategy contest, you know, like so I'm thinking about like some other, maybe I shouldn't drop names, but like there've been other high profile people on our side who have entered like Senate races. Okay, I'm thinking of Amy McGrath, right? Who have a really high national profile, and there are others too, and they raise a lot of money and they don't peter out. And I think it's this like closed loop, I guess, of political consultants advising these relative newcomer, you know, political figures. And that can be awesome if you're a newcomer. I'm not saying you have to be an old hat. Like a newcomer, being the classic one, can be an amazingly powerful figure. But when they listen to these people who want to convince them that the way to win is to have really slick ads, it's just like, you know, why did you bother raising $20 million? You're basically just, you're like a full employment service for ad creators. Good for you.
Yeah.
Taylor, so now we have to pick one that moves on.
I mean, do we all just think that Doug Mastriano's was the best one? Is that,
yeah,
hands down. I mean, I don't even think it's a question. Like that was the best ad.
I'm gonna say Fetterman's was better, just so that I can be wrong.
What a weird call.
Okay. All right.
I have a record of like 0-12 to keep up.
Jordy just used to being wrong. It's okay. I say that with love.
Mastriano was better than Tad and Chad.
Yeah.
So we're going for better. I mean, Tad and Chad was more memorable.
Tad and Chad is more memorable in the sense that I'm like,
who was that ad for?
I'm never gonna unsee
who
it.
was the candidate in that ad?
I don't know.
It was an attack.
It was just an attack ad.
Yeah, it was an attack.
I want to go watch that show now. It seems like it's probably a funny show.
In the Mastriano ad, you remember that it
Sunny
was
Side Up
Mastriano.
in Philly. What's it called?
It's
Sunny
always-
Side Up in Philly.
Oh,
No.
Sunny Side Up.
It is called Sunny Side Up in
Go
Philly.
watch that.
It's called Always
Sounds
Sunny.
great.
No, don't tell. It is.
Is it like a cooking show?
It's called Philly Over Easy.
Sunny
and
Side
it's
Up.
really good.
They're making eggs.
Awesome. I love cooking shows.
They make paella sometimes, Jordy.
What? No, get out of
I
here.
know.
Please
They
write
also
down.
smoke crack sometimes. So, you know.
Please write down Sunny Side Up in Philadelphia and then make merch out of it.
Yeah.
I would buy that merch.
I'm afraid, that's right. I'm afraid we'd get sued for
You
like
sell as many
infringement.
as you can until they catch on. FX isn't that good. They're not. They don't have.
That's true.
I don't know. How
Barnstorming
deep
not on their radar right now.
I don't know how
That's
deep
good, yeah.
the FX lawyers are. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. So we're
I wrote
way
it
over
down.
time. We're way over time. So I just want to throw out what was going to be the deep dive. Instead, it's going to be like one of those Guinness World Record breaking shallow dive. But I'll just throw this out, sort of quick hits, and then we'll wrap up. Is that okay, Taylor?
Yeah, it's good.
So basically, right, like I can't tear my eyes away from what's going on in the Ukraine, and I myself have, you know, put on social media and been thinking about like we're all rallying to but I think there's a lot of attention and certainly a lot of media attention. And what about Yemen? What about Saudi Arabia? Not Saudi Arabia. Sorry, I mean that's an issue too. But what about Yemen? What about Syria? What about, you know, Myanmar's had some internal struggles.
A coup.
So a coup, yeah. And so in that context, it's like, you know, part of me is like, well, it's because like the storylines that come out of Ukraine, I think feed into these pre-existing kind of narratives we share. It is like the rebel alliance versus the evil empire, right? These plucky, you know, scrappy rebels, you know, fighting this overbearing tyrannical force.
And it also feeds this like independence, you know, patriot thing that we all have in America.
Okay.
Nationalist.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. For sure. So in that, so that's just kind of like prelude. But my concern is that, like, well, the country, and I feel like a lot of the left is sort of watching this. We are asleep at the wheel. That the way that this has shifted some of the political conversations is going to be bad for our causes and our values. So one is like, Raytheon and all the arms makers are like, yes, we better make and sell more weapons, or we're going to use. And of course, the oil companies. What have we got there, Taylor? Not
in our name and with our money.
Not in our name and not with our money. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so I just want to throw that out. Like, you all share that concern that in 6 or 9 months, suddenly there's this term, the Overton window, but like the political landscape for what's acceptable issues is going to shift again towards too much military expenditure and like more and more drill, baby drill. Like, that's my concern that I wanted to throw out, and that's what the readings are about. So should I be worried about that? Should, more than Mastriano, the same, Jenna?
I just think we're all gonna die. I don't know.
Okay, good. Awesome. Okay, and we're done, folks. Good night.
I mean, I gotta be perfectly honest. I haven't been paying that much attention to what's going on in the Ukraine because, like, it's just so far outside the realm of things that I could possibly fucking do anything about, that I'm like, I just, foreign policy is not my thing. I'm very much more of like, like, I keep my work local and I work in Pennsylvania, and because I can really affect change at this level. And I think that I hadn't actually considered that that it would make our work harder for us at some point. But I mean, I don't know, we're just screwed from so many angles at this point. It's like hard to keep track of all of it.
But in the let me just say this though, fracking is a huge issue in Pennsylvania, and what I'm saying is, in several months or even now, it's really easy to imagine people saying like, well, we need to get rid of the impact fees because we got to have more gas fracks because Russia's oil is a global weapon, blah 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 blah.
Oh
right?
yeah,
So,
I mean, and it's going to continue to be a problem. Like, I mean, where some of my family members live in Snowshoe, which is the northern tip of Center County, middle of nowhere, they have a lot of problems now with their water's now contaminated from a lot of the drilling that has happened out there. Like, my friend posted a picture of her bathtub full of water and says, I was told that this was safe to drink, and it was just like brown.
Well, you can drink it, you just can't bathe in it.
Right. So like, I can only imagine how much worse stuff like that is going to get for the people of rural Pennsylvania. I mean, and our infrastructure is already falling apart because all of our money is already going into the Department of Defense. It's already sucking up so much of our resources. Like, it's hard to imagine it taking even more,
Yeah. Anybody else want to weigh in on the big hypothesis here is that the sort of media seductiveness of the Ukraine narrative will lead us to a place where big oil and the military industrial complex is going to actually end up benefiting from this.
I mean, I think that's likely. Unfortunately, what tends to happen with issues in America, and I very much hope, I do wish this podcast all the success in the world, but I'm about to say something incredibly unpopular, and if I ever want to have some sort of career after this, I would very much like for this not to get picked up. But what we do find in America is that we have a very short attention span, including when it comes to incredibly important and life or death situations, much like the war in Ukraine. If we find that there's something that is possible that will alleviate our burden, we'd want to do that. And if we see that as more hydraulic fracturing or more drilling for like we're pretty easily convinced that if we just drill for more oil, we'll get more oil and gas prices will go down, which isn't exactly how things work, but that is how we have been taught or lied to that it works. So if the $4 a gallon gas continues for an extended period of time, you are going to see Americans say, like, we need to do something to alleviate this, and they will trust the most nefarious of people who are going to say, here are the solutions, here's what you need to call your congressperson about, here's what we need to do. And it's always going to be something that is environment killing and polluting to the point where water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Like, we're going to be looking at an incredibly bad situation if stuff like this continues, because unfortunately Americans will try to, there's a brief moment of solidarity, and then it is followed swiftly by what is the thing that will alleviate our problem, and everything else be damned. So that is something that very much could be a problem in the honestly not so far away future.
I mean, I think you said some really great and smart things there, Terrain. I want to go back a little bit. You know, if you're worried about your career, your mistake was coming on the podcast. I mean, you set that up for me.
I did. Look, I'm certain you'll have all the success in the world, and I will 100% coattail off of that. And just you'll cut this episode when that happens.
No.
Listen, just remember that some of us are in hiring positions in progressive organizations. So if you get booted out of your job, we can hook you up.
Yeah, I'll put you to work. Plenty of work to do.
Well, yeah, I don't have any more to say on that. I think, you know, what I wish is that there was the kind of like broad across the whole movement mobilization, like now to just, I mean, but Jenna, you're right. Like, I mean, it's hard to ever say like make some other issue on the back burner. And so I'm not saying that, but like the short version of this to me is like, you know, do you think we should defend democracy? You know, in the Ukraine and everywhere, and Luzerne County, for God's sakes, you know, we're not going to talk about that now, but Jess, decarbonize now, right? Like there is no better opportunity to really like make the radical like shifts, and I haven't heard the clarion call for that, and I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, I think that's like I'm really of two minds about it. Like, part of me is just like, yeah, absolutely. Like, let's completely collapse their energy markets and just pump out LNG to Europe, because, you know, they're on LNG right now, and
that's like liquid natural gas.
That's liquefied natural gas, yeah, and like us just shipping our LNG there solves that problem, you know, and it definitely isn't good for rural Pennsylvania or rural Louisiana, or, you know, other places that have natural, you know, fracking. But
severance tax. So if that happens, they're going to be better off than we were too. Just added.
Yeah, but so yeah, like I'm of two minds about that. It's like, yeah, that's great, but also like, what an immensely perfect time to like seriously just invest in wind and solar. And nuclear, you know, because it's just that's a really important part of this. You know that Pennsylvania gets 30% of its electricity from nuclear?
Yeah, I did, because you told me that.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, a lot comes from Germany. Germany gets a pretty big percentage of their energy from nuclear too, and they're trying to shut it down, which is ridiculous.
Well, we should do another podcast on that. I have mixed feelings about.
Okay.
Oh boy, do I have a guest for you?
I know. Is this Alicia's husband?
Oh no, Alicia will take point.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
On
nuclear energy. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I think we've identified our next pod.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, soon to be added to the merch shop is my other power plant is nuclear, or how's that going to go, Taylor? Oh no, my other car is a train.
My other car's a train. Yeah.
Wait,
that's a t-shirt we're working on.
My other power
was
plant
a big
nuclear.
Shift.
Wait, no, that can't be it.
It's been a long day. Okay.
Well, that was...
I like my other power plant as nuclear.
We're definitely gonna need those. I will produce those independently.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that.
That's just total nonsense.
I very much like that.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Are there things you all want to plug? Everybody, Terrain, where can people find you? We know you have a podcast that people actually listen to.
Oh, how sweet! That's not true. You can find me on Twitter at Terrain Myrix, Instagram at Terrain Myrix, and I do a podcast called Alcoholitics where me and my partner get tipsy silly and talk about some fun stuff. So check that out. You can find that anywhere podcasts are found, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, I guess Barnes and Noble, maybe somewhere, those kinds of things. But
Audible.
I don't know.
And if you liked the game, Terrain teased an ad specific episode that'll be airing soon that I really want to be invited to.
Yes, and you will. I would love to do that. We had. This is going to sound very sad. This is a very sad thing I'm about to do, so I do apologize for everybody. We had an episode planned out where we were going to do ads and just talk about ads, and then I got a call that my grandma died. So I couldn't do that episode because I was too busy being very sad. But I'm not sad no more, and I'm back, baby.
Oh, that was quite an emotional yo-yo.
I saw people get sad, and I'm like, got to bring them back. Got to reel them back.
Was not prepared.
Jenna, do you have anything you want to plug? A Better PA is always a great organization.
The summit.
Yeah. So actually, Jordy, you missed my news earlier.
Oh, oops. Sorry.
I'm actually leaving Better PA.
Oops.
I have accepted the organizing director position with the Penn Franchise Project.
Hooray.
So yes, I'm going to go train people how to be organizers and put them to work.
I could use some of that.
But yes, I can drop the link for the Keystone Progress Summit. One of the hats I wear is the secretary of the Keystone Progress Education Fund. And we are doing our yearly summit. And it is next weekend. It's going to be online. So I just dropped the link in the private chat. I don't know if you can put it out, but
yeah, we can. I think I was asked to be a panelist today.
Yeah, there's going to be all kinds of different panels. We're going to have a Senate forum for the Senate primary, a forum for the Lieutenant Governor primary. We're going to have Josh Shapiro. We got some great keynote speakers, and then we're also going to have a bunch of panels. I will be on the panel on Friday evening from 5 to 6. We're going to be talking about the intersection of democracy and criminal justice reform. So yeah, check it out.
That's great. It's I think this is the 13th year.
Maybe even longer. I want to say they're 14 or 15 years, something like that.
Let's put it this way. Pretty soon it's so old that if it were certain people in society, they'd be lying about their age. No? Okay, not a professional segue? Okay.
No.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I was about to say women, then I thought that would sound sexist, and then I just made a hash.
You thought it would sound sexist because you were saying about women?
He saw my face on the screen and went, "Don't say a thing about women. She's gonna yell at me."
Some men lie about their age too. I know some men who lie about their age too. That's legit. Okay, Jess, anything to plug?
Why not? Join Action Together NEPA. Action Together NEPA now hiring canvassers across northeastern PA.
If you thought this was fun, you should try canvassing with me.
We will only make you canvass with Jordy for a small amount of time, and then you can go do your own thing. No, I'm kidding. You'll have to deal with Jordy for a while, but no, it's all good. No, we're talking to voters. We're talking about the issues that matter to voters, and not trying to sell them anything. We're looking for information from the voters throughout the region, and that is not something that happens often enough. So if you want to get paid to canvass, let us know. join Action Together NEPA. If you're a progressive in the Northeast quadrant of the state, we'd love to have you on our team.
Really, anywhere if you want to give us money.
Or also from anywhere else, if you want to just give us some money, we'd like that.
Yeah. I last night we had a sort of first introduction training, and we had our first person who looks like they're going to join canvassing who was canvassed. So that's really exciting. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Benchmark for me.
Yeah, it's very cool. So we're reaching the people that have been ignored in political and electoral conversations for far too long in a region that has also been ignored for far too long. And so it's very exciting, the work that we're doing right here. So we'll hook you up with Action Together NEPA, and you can deal with Jordy for a little while, work with me. It's going to be all good.
It's like those cartoons where you have an angel and a devil on your shoulder.
That's right.
Well, I'll go next. So I have a tree tenders training coming up in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, April 26th. If you want to learn how to not only just plant but grow trees, come to the tree tenders training. Donation only, lunch included. I also am closing down River Road in Lewisburg for River Road Holiday, May 8th. Very exciting. If you're looking for a Mother's Day activity to do, come over. Bring your bikes, come and walk. There's going to be a clown show, and also the Audubon Society will be doing some bird watching.
So the Senate GOP candidates are going to be there.
Nice. Listen, we're all a little tired, but Jenna's the marathon runner.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, look out for those activities, and yeah, Jordy, close it up.
No, it's all been said. It's all good.
Hang on,
good.
Jenna, could you say that one more time for me, please?
What?
Could you say what you said one more time?
I said, so the Senate GOP candidates are going to be there?
Jenna
there was a time when I was always joke with Jordy that we had like one of those soundboard things, and I would play womp womp womp, whenever he would say a bad joke.
I think I promised to get you guys one, and I just never did. So my bad. Thanks, Terrain.
Got it.
Yeah, I want L on my computer to press. Womp womp womp.
Yeah, I could use some sound effects. So thank you, everybody. If you stuck around for this long, you're a real trooper. Please, like our guests, like the show, rate it, rank it, all that good stuff. Bye.
Bye.